So someone posted something earlier. I can't remember what video it was. They were talking about Final Fantasy 16 and 7. And I'm like, I commented on it. I was like, 16 and 7 are not even in the same category. I was like, the story's pretty good with 16, and I see what they were doing. But like the character models, the world design, and everything else is really stiff compared to 7. Just like, I'm pretty sure they're on two different game engines. And I think one of the persons like said remake or the demo of Final Fantasy 16 was better than the entire game of Final Fantasy 7 remake. And I was like, I don't think so. And some people might say it's like, oh, you're talking from nostalgia. I'm like, no, it's like game design in general. Like, it's more restrictive because of the way the story was told. I mean, they're in Midgar, so there's not much to explore. It's a very condensed area as compared to like Rebirth. Because Rebirth is like open, you know, it's super open. There's plenty to see. But like they were narrowed down in remake because that's the first part of the story. As Final Fantasy 7, the game in general, like the first part of it, or just the entire game, it opens up more. The more you do, the more you get, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would make sense for this game to be more open than remake, because remake was restricted because of the story. And the story's still linear here, but it's just on a grander scale because now you're out in the open. It's the same with any Final Fantasy game, really. Like Final Fantasy, let's say 6, you start, and I think it's like the village of Neri or something. I can't remember what the hell the name of it is. Whatever the village is that you first start out in the beginning. And then, like, you kind of bust out, and as you play along, you get more and more characters. And you get, the story opens up, you get, like, airships and all kinds of shit. So, makes sense, you know.
I am not looking
I
forward
definitely
to this.
agree that 7 just looks completely different than
You'll see.
16 graphic-wise. It's way better.
Mm-hmm. And I see what they were going with, but it's just, like I said, and I just commented, I'm like, 16 just reminds me of an offline 14. Like a single-player version. Like, it has its good story elements, but even the character models, when they talk in, like, the cutscenes themselves, are still not, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, they're good, but they're not Final Fantasy 7 good. That's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah, they're
Like
definitely like not as fluid.
Yes. It's like, it must be the game engine that they used or the way they designed that game. Like this one, you can tell like there's a lot of heart and a lot of like creativity that put into it to make this flushed out because they knew they couldn't screw this game up. Like it had to be perfect. Now 16, they could, Yoshi P had some freedom there, you know? He could do whatever he wanted. So in a way, Final Fantasy 7 is restrictive to its story. Like, they can't do anything really. I mean, they kind of did. They added stuff to the story elements and changed it all around, but they still had to stay to the story of 7. 16 could have been anything, you know? So, I don't know. It's just like when you run around as Clive and everybody and you're out in the world, it reminded me of like a little bit of like Final Fantasy 14 and 15 put together. Like the battle combat system's kind of the same-ish. And then when you do the summons, they're pretty cool. Like you get to fight as the summon, like you turn into them. But I don't know.
Yeah, that was really neat.
Yeah, there's some really good stuff. And like, and it's not to downplay what 16 was. It just didn't sell very well because of the fact that most people were overshadowed by this game. 7. Like this was coming out and 16. I think if 7 wasn't in the works, it would be different maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they would affect it though. Cuz this game's just I don't know. It's on a whole other level. Like just the graphics of just Cloud and Tifa and everybody. Like they just look so damn good. And each character, I mean look at Barrett. He's messing around with his stomach. You got Aerith kind of messing around their hips there. You know, some of it's static stuff, but they kind of did that in 16, but not really. Like these all look like individual characters and they're all doing their own things waiting around.
Yeah. They did a really good job with it.
Yeah, see, and then like 16 just feels like, I don't know, just the characters are still there, but they're not like this. They're just more stiff like robots. weird. Like all the little hair things. And there's stuff that moves on them. It's just, I don't know. Look at red. Even just kind of walking across this bridge, you can kind of see. Yeah, they jag a little bit, but can't be perfect. Look at all the party members you got, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 5 people.
A big
Or no.
party.
Well, that's 6 actually, right? Yeah. The red. Well, I guess it's technically
Yeah,
5
6 with
people
red.
and one animal. But anyway, you didn't have this. I think you only had a party of 3 in 16, didn't it? pretty
I
sh-
can't remember.
Pretty sure it was just Clive and 2 others, or whoever's with you. I think. Dang it! It's been a little while since I played it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that long ago, but long enough to like. I don't know. Well, this is like my little powwow on the bridge. I just got to thinking of that comment, and somebody said something about it, like 16. Like I don't know. I guess it's a matter of opinion, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. They're
They're all-
definitely 2 completely different games.
Yeah. I just think more detail and care went to this one, and it could be by the team that made it, you know. And thank God they did, because phew, they exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, it's an amazing game. It is so beautiful.
Yeah, so I guess the point of my meaning is, yeah, it was interesting to see somebody else's view. I guess, you know, they like 16 better than they like 7 Remake. You know, that also could be coming from a person that's never played the original 7 or didn't grow up with it. So that nostalgic part for us that grew up with it, Heavy's way more. We have no attachment to 16 because it just came out. So to me, that would be the difference, I guess.
Yeah, that could be as well.
And, you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but if you had to set both games in front of me without playing either one of them, I would pick 7 over this one immediately and then throw 16 in the garbage. That's exactly how I would do it. But that's just me, you know. But if you're, you know, didn't grow up with it, I guess you could probably take 16 because it's the newest. But 7, on the other hand, man, whew, breathtaking. Good Lord.
Yes, it is beautiful.